All right, boy, we are really happy that you guys are joining us here today on the Ohio Business Spotlight. We have had so much fun uh, spotlighting local businesses. Businesses get a chance to tell the story of how they got to where they're at. And I think that business owners out there that are watching get an opportunity to glean and learn from some of the hurdles that business owners like my guest here today have already figured out how to create the wheel so that someone's not stuck reinventing it. And but we're really just happy to have you. We're absent my partner Tony today. Tony's traveling, so it's just me and Nick and Tony. Right here, I have the two co-owners of Triton Steam Cleaning. We are so happy to have you with us here today, Nick and Tony.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. We appreciate the offer here.
We get killing two birds with one stone. I get to have two guests on one show. I don't get that very much. And you
You
guys
dropped
even
one,
lined up
Tony,
your
and got
camera.
another.
You guys even lined up your camera pretty good because the other times that we've had it, we've had to, get people steered into where they were in the picture and everything. So, but like I started out telling you guys before we actually got started, I said, you guys have become a regular name in a circle that you want to be in. And when I say a circle, you guys get referred. I see whether it's on social media or whether it's there's been two different occasions that you guys have been referred to me. That is an incredible way to grow your business. It's it's probably one of the most inexpensive ways. That's not to say that there's not a cost to it, because the cost is you guys are doing business the right way. And but I just want to dig in real quick. If you guys will give me a summary of how did you guys meet, how did you guys get started, and maybe just rattle off some of the services. I got your website pulled up, and man, you guys do a lot. Tell us a little bit about you. Doesn't matter who goes first as long as you don't both try to fight talking all over each other.
Absolutely. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, I went to school with Nick's wife. We both graduated from Fairborn High School here locally. Obviously, started hanging out with Nick over the years, became really good friends. Started talking about opening up a business. Um, Kind of one of those things personally that I always said, "Hey, why didn't my parents start a business that I could have taken over?"
Yeah.
And then one day it hit me, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you start the business, and your kids can do the same thing, right?" So that's kind of how it started. We started talking about it, saw a need for a professional company in this industry that was going to do the right thing and be honest, and that's what we really live by.
What are rattle off some of the services? I could rattle them off the website, but I think that folks would rather hear from you. Rattle off some of the services that you do. And if you have a pinnacle service that you're known for internationally, just kidding, kind of
All
throw it
right.
out there. But what services you guys provide?
I think one of the easiest ways to describe it to people is, hey, if you can walk on it, we can clean it. If you can sit on it, we can clean it. So that
Oh,
includes floor cleaning, carpet cleaning, tile cleaning, hardwood cleaning, LVP cleaning, all that. So then it's above and beyond that, upholstery cleaning, mattress cleaning. We do all kinds of stuff, but we also do dryer vent cleaning and air duct cleaning as well, which are two big services that we offer.
that's how I met you. I'm embarrassed to say that I probably threw away a $900 dryer that would have worked perfectly. And my
We
wife
got a
is going to
lot out
shoot
of
me for
yours,
saying
Greg.
that because we said we were going to keep that secret between us. But you guys came out a year ago, so we just had you on renewal where you came back the following year.
Yes, sir.
And it's embarrassing what you pulled out of my duct system. I'm thankful that you got it down off the roof quick because it was bigger than it looked like you pulled a couple bodies out of
Yeah, yeah,
there. And
yeah.
but that service right there, when you think of uh, the dryer duct cleaning service that isn't a service. How do you get your word out there? How have you guys, what are some of the things that you guys have done to where people want to refer you over and over. I see it on social media anytime something pops up where a service is requested, listed on your, and all of them that I've seen listed on your website. Man, I see Triton steam cleaning, Triton steam cleaning. When I asked about two different things, both of them came back Triton steam cleaning. What do you think you guys have done that has got your word out in the community where people just refer you like that?
I think a big part of it is building relationships with people. So we both coach Pee Wee football, baseball, basketball in the community, and getting our name out that way, and then telling people about our business. You know, they put two and two together, like, oh, you coach my kid, and oh, now you have this service business. So it's building that trust with a lot of our clients. And I tell you what, man, our Facebook, community is awesome. We love our Facebook community. They are huge for us. We started out with the Google ads and everything, but man, you talk about pricey. It was expensive and we did not see the return on it at all. Um, Once we really worked on getting our footprint on Facebook and kind of getting our name out there and learning how Tony's done a really good job of just getting things tagged and videos and everything else, making sure that we're known in the Facebook world, and we're just such a small little smidge of the whole entire world out there. That really propelled us. And like you said, I mean, there are a lot of times when carpet cleaning comes up in our local community, we are definitely on the list, if not once, probably 5 or 6 times. So, but
How
we
long
treat
have you
our
all been, how
customers
long
that.
have you guys been doing this?
We started in September of 21.
So you guys have only been doing this for 4 years?
Yes,
Not
sir.
even four, not even
Not
four
even four.
years?
Yeah.
That is incredible because I can be a man of hyperbole. Anybody who knows me says that, man, Greg, you can oversell something. But I have a feeling that it's going to be validated. Anybody watching this, there's going to be a lot of head nodding going on saying, oh my gosh, I've seen them. They've either been referred to me or I've seen them tagged on Facebook. Uh, Tony, how long? So he just gave you credit for the social media presence that you have. I myself dig deep into that. I just think it is a way to connect with the community like no other. And I've been doing that way for about 12 years. When you put content up there, if you're talking to a business owner, and again, it just blows me away that you guys haven't been even doing this 4 years yet. What would you say to the business owner that's watching this? What are the things that you look to capture? What type of content do you put out there?
Yeah, I think just staying true to your career or your field, right? Your industry. Um, I've done a lot of research work with the SEO. What photos look good? What videos? I think Nick kind of, you know, maybe look a little better than what I am there. Personally, to go back to what we were talking about earlier, I think it comes down to our mission statement and us wanting to raise the bar and provide an excellent service. And I think us providing that excellent service has created a community of cheerleaders for us on social media, on throughout the neighborhoods, throughout the groups and all these kind of things. And they have just gone to bat for us because they feel trusted with us. They like to do business with us. Their money is spent well. We're going to do what we say we're going to do, and these people enjoy that.
Uh, uh, so I like you just said something also that Nick touched on in the introduction. Relationship is so important. What are some of the strategic advantages that you guys capitalize on? What do you guys, I know in my industry, the things that I do to make me bigger, better, faster, and stronger than the competition. What are some of the ways, what are some of the things that you do that you don't often see your competition do? And when you see your competition not doing these things, you just kind of start licking your chops going, oh man, we're going to have that job there here really soon. What are some of the things that you guys do?
I think one of the biggest things is just showing up and literally t doing exactly what you tell people you're going to do. They want this done, and this done. We're going to do exactly what that is, and we're going to do it to the highest standard. Our guys don't cut corners. It's paying attention to the small details. Um, I would say that we run this very much like a sports team. So, because we're
Yeah.
both, it's
That's a
easy
great
for us to
analogy,
relate to
man.
that. And when we coach our kids, again, it's pay attention to the small details. Make sure you have corner guards up. Make sure you clean up the water behind you if you drip a little bit of water after you're done. It's those small little things that we really want to make sure that when we leave, that they had no idea that we were there, other than what it was that we were cleaning. Looks amazing. So,
Yeah, and I would add to that too, Greg. The motto kind of we live by, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room.
mhm.
So networking has been huge. We go to a lot of events. Nick does a really good job at going to a lot of events. Um, Getting those guys, picking their brain. Hey, what do you think about this? You've been doing this longer than me. Um, the big players in the industry that we work with, what can we learn from them to implement to them to help grow our business as fast as we can?
Man, that's a common thread. If you guys went back and watched any episodes, I would almost accuse you of cheating and stealing whatever, because it really is. We have to, stand on the shoulders of the giants that have, in the industry. And I so often hear people say exactly what you just said. You guys are willing to humble yourself to listen to someone else who's done it. And you're obviously attentive to details because you see some things that might get missed by a competitor that will give you that competitive advantage. I think that is key. I always describe it when I used to do small business consulting that it really is entry level business 101 stuff. You just said that you make sure your guys go around and clean up, just any little bit of mess made, where I've seen business owners that go, oh, it's just a little bit of water. It's not that big of a deal, but it really is a big deal. Can you think of a review that you have received either on Facebook or Google that just blew your mind, where someone said something so overwhelmingly incredible, and you were kind of scratching your head going, gee whiz, man, we're really just doing what we do. Can you think of an example?
Yeah, I can honestly, off the top of my head there, and kind of along those lines. So, as when we first started, I remember somebody leaving us a review, and they were speaking of one of our employees was actually on his hands and knees cleaning water that had dripped off onto the hardwood floors as they were walking out off the wand, and they actually were on their hands and knees with a microfiber cloth wiping this down. And then they were on Facebook and the Google review thanking us, saying, I can't believe they actually, I walked out around the corner and they're actually on their hands and knees wiping up the floor. And we didn't have to tell our employees that.
Mm.
Again, that's pushed on them to know that, hey, this is what we want to do. We want to create that servant culture, and let's do the right thing.
Well, let me ask you this, because you've talked about employees two different times, and you can't have an operation like you guys have that's grown so quickly, that gets referred so often, without good employees. Debunked a myth for me. In the service industries like you guys are in, isn't it hard to find good help? What are you guys doing to kind of bring it to your sports team? I love that analogy right there. I coach both my boys in football, basketball, and baseball. Also, I love that analogy. How are you guys finding the team members that are embrace that culture?
I feel like the timing has been huge for us. All three of our full-time employees right now, I mean, we're a small operation, but the three full-time employees that we've got all had prior experience in this field.
Okay.
And I think that they saw us as a new opportunity, with a new path, a new way of doing things. And the funny thing about it is, I know two of the three, the third one, he may have played a little bit of sports, but two of the three were part of very good organizations, sports organizations in the past. So they knew the discipline and how things work, and how important it is to do the small things to get where you want to go to make your goals a reality.
Hmm.
So it's really been easy to do that with them in the transition of things. So it's and we're constantly looking for new employees. I was at McDonald's 2 months ago, and this guy was awesome at the drive-through. I gave him a business card and I said, "Hey, if you're ever looking for a job, give me a call." So I've not heard anything yet, but I might one day. You know what I mean? So, but I'm going to put it out there.
Boy, it's taken that while you're in the community, constantly having your head on a swivel, constantly looking for that talent. Um, I'm going to put you on the spot here, but I think every business has this right here. What is something that you guys came up against that made you take a step back and go, whoa, this is a problem that we've got to solve pretty quickly? Something that maybe just knocked the air out of you, or maybe it wasn't quite that bad, but it certainly caught your attention and you thought, man, we've got to build a solution for this so that it's permanent.
Well, I mean, one thing that pops to mind for me, for our industry and our location here in the Midwest, is the weather. One thing I don't think we thought of in the beginning was when we started, we bought a van. We were kind of working out of our own homes when we first started. And then all of a sudden the winter hit and we were like, okay, well, what are you going to do with all these vans? They can't sit outside. They're going to freeze up. They're going to bust. We're going to lose all this money that we invested. What do we do? So we were on the hunt. Luckily, we ended up finding a building over in Centerville, able to purchase a building. But we realized that also gave us a meeting place, a common ground for everyone to connect. And it's been worth its weight in gold, or worth its value in gold. I mean, it's just been awesome. Uh, that was a huge obstacle that we had to overcome. Just bringing everybody into one location, not going. Do I have to go to Nick's house to get this? Do I have to go to Tony's house to get this? Where is this located at? It's all in one central location, and that was just a blessing for us to be able to purchase a building.
Oh, you've identified, you definitely touched on something there. I insure a lot of young contractors and a lot of, in fact, in 2 weeks, we've got an episode coming up. We're going to call it the Young Guns. And it's kids right out of high school, actually graduated in the same class as my two boys that opted not to go the college route, opted to jump in, own their own business, whether it's landscaping, whether it's detailing, whether it's pressure washing. They don't recognize really how much courage they displayed by doing that right there. And that is, I can tell you right now, I get that question when I sit down with them because I find myself as a little bit more of a mentor to them than their insurance agent. And that pops up a lot. Boy, when do I get a location? You know, when do I get a service bay? You know, when do I do that right there? I think you probably just gave some people some affirmation that, okay, these guys took the risk. It wasn't, you know, you did it early on. So the business couldn't have been up and roaring at the pace that it is right now. So it was a little bit of a leap of faith, right?
It 100% was a
Yeah.
leap of faith.
Yeah.
It was earlier than we wanted,
Yeah.
100%, but it was probably the best decision, one of the best decisions we've made so far to propel
You
us.
kind of did it to protect an investment, really. You had all that equipment. Man, so I'm hearing right now diversification, your willingness to not throw your hands up and get frustrated, but okay, we've got to figure out maybe some things that we need to do in the winter. How quickly did you start adding on services, or has your menu been this broad from Jump Street?
We started out strictly with carpet cleaning and upholstery cleaning. So pretty much anything on the floor and then the upholstery stuff. It was about a year in, and Tony, came to us and he's like, "Hey, I think we need to look at this air duct stuff." And the big reason was that because people were calling in and they're like, "Hey, can you guys do our air duct cleaning? Can you do our dryer vent cleaning?" And we're like, "No, we don't offer that service yet." But it kept coming up, kept coming up. So we did some research on it and we're like, you know what? This is a pretty easy, scalable business at this point too. That in line with what we do. We're already in people's homes. We're already in there, with that building that trust with them and doing business with them. So we might as well offer this service as well.
I
Yeah,
kind of call that.
one thing I
Go ahead,
read.
Tony. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then one thing I read too, the power of three, right? So having these services with customers to be in their home and just offering multiple. How do we be that one-stop shop for all of our customers, right? Oh, I need my carpets cleaned, I call Triton. I need my air duct clean, I call Triton. I need my dryer vent clean, I'm going to call Triton. I have emergency water service, extraction needed, I'm going to call Triton. So how do we become that know-it-all name there?
Yeah, we call it account rounding in the insurance business, where maybe we might just have one line of business with somebody, maybe an auto insurance, and trying to find a way to tack on the home. And the more services that you're really creating a customer that's not going to look very far and they're not going to have to look very hard to see something that you do. Any sneak peeks on services that might be coming up? It would allow me to put a breaking news thing on this podcast right here.
Nothing
Yeah,
yet.
nothing as of right now. Water service is another thing that we're really trying to focus on and start to grow as well. Anytime you got any floods in your basements or water damage, we're looking to keep increasing that revenue right there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Your service area. I know Oakwood is where home base is, or close to Oakwood.
Centerville.
Centerville.
Centerville. Okay. I don't know where I got that Oakwood. Maybe I've got hearing issues, so maybe but so Centerville is home base. How far does your service area expand? And when I say that, I know you get calls, you probably get calls from some places that you're not there yet, but how far does your service area comfortably span?
I'd say Westchester, all the way up to Vandalia.
Okay.
Um,
That's pretty
so I
broad.
mean, we've got a good range, and we do other jobs outside of that. It does depend on the job, you know. I mean, we don't want like driving to Amelia for, $100 job. It just doesn't make sense, right? In the business aspect of it. So yeah, it just kind of depends on the job. It depends on where it's at, and we take those on a case by case basis. So that's one of the first questions we ask is where are you located at? So, and what do
Yeah.
you need? So
Oh, that's I think a lot of young entrepreneurs, when they get into business, their excitement and their willingness to, I know when my son started his mobile detailing business, he drove 45 minutes to Urbana every day. The fact of the matter is, it was very profitable because he was cleaning 3 cars a day up there, 5 days a week. But then it's funny, he had just gotten a call from that same shop, and they said, "Well, hey, we've got a car for you." And he says, I just can't make sense of that in my head. I can't make that work right there. I've got 4 other dealerships and I've got 5 retail clients, and it just doesn't make sense for me to drive up there. But I bet you we've identified or uncovered something where a lot of younger entrepreneurs will go anywhere, anytime without any consideration about would it be a profitable venture for me?
yeah, we have that
Yeah,
discussion all the
yeah,
time. So
yeah. We honestly wonder if we need to hone that in more.
yeah.
Like you said, we were kind of that way too. We were young and dumb, we'll call it. And like you said, hey, we say, hey, we go from Tip City to Northern Kentucky.
Hmm.
And then we started realizing, well, this might not be this might not be profitable in the best case scenario by the time we factor in paying the employees and all the expenses and wear and tear on the vehicles and the mileage and the time. Is this really worth it? And it's unfortunate, and we've actually had to cut some ties with some companies and businesses that we've done work with further down south recently, just because like, hey, it just doesn't make sense for us right now to make that travel in that time.
Well, yeah, Nick, you said something right to start, and it's always something. Another thing that I see business owners struggle with. I'll ask a business owner, "What do they do?" And they get a little. There's a you had an I call it an elevator speech. I said, "What do you guys do?" And before I even had the sentence all the way out of my mouth, you were like, "If you stand on it, sit on it, sleep on it, we clean it." And I think that is important. I love if somebody didn't catch that, I would want to emphasize that because it has to make your job easier to be able to communicate exactly what you guys do to a customer, do for a
Yeah.
customer.
Yeah, there's,
So,
that comes from some of the networking groups I've been in. They work on, hey, do it clear and concise, as small as possible. They actually say it's 3 words, and one of the 3 words that I usually use is more than carpet. So,
mm, that's
um, in
that's
that
good.
way, it's because it's steam cleaning, it's more than carpet. So,
That's good. Well, Tony always surprises people with this question. My partner, Tony Miltenberger. I'm going to give you a little bit of heads up because we're getting ready to land the plane. And I've got one more question, but I want you to think of one here before we get off. It'll be the way we end it. We always like to ask because we're booked up right now through the end of August with having spotlights here. And we're always looking for businesses to spotlight. So while I'm asking this last question, if you guys would kind of start just meditate a little bit in your brain about who some businesses you might be, and I'll ask that. But when it comes to, we didn't talk about either a little bit about your backgrounds, but one of the things that fascinated me and it drew me, and Tony, I don't know your background as much, but someone told me that Nick was used to be a Dayton police officer. Did I get the Dayton police officer correct?
No, I was at City of Beaver Creek.
City of Beaver Creek. Okay.
Yes,
How long
sir.
were you a police officer?
I did 17 years.
Why is it, I'm a veteran. Why is it? Why do you think that people, I'm getting a little message here. We might be running out of time. So I just think it's important that people know that right there. Real quick, give me, if you would, one or two businesses that you guys think we should before Zoom shuts us down here.
Uh, Man,
You said businesses to
business.
spotlight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that we should spotlight.
Uh,
And you can text them.
Solar Flare Heating and Air.
yeah,
Solar
Who is
Flare.
it?
There's a great company, Solar Flare Heating and Air.
Oh my gosh, Galen's client of mine, and
yeah.
he services all
Galen,
my investment property. I'm going to put him on the list right there. I'm going to cut this short here before Zoom cuts us off
we'll
because
send
I'm
some
cheap
over
and
to you, Greg.
what's that?
We'll send some over to you.
Yeah. Listen, I've totally enjoyed this right here. You guys have had a chance to tell your story. It's incredible, and I think people are going to learn from it. I'm so thankful that you guys took time out to join us today, okay?
No, thank you so
Thank
much,
you. Really
Greg.
appreciate it.
All right, Tony, it was nice to meet you. I look forward to interacting with you guys more in the future. Solar Flare is a good one. That one made me smile when he said that. I hope that you guys have a great night, all right?
You too. Thanks,
Thanks,
Greg.
Greg.
All right, bye-bye now.
Bye bye.